Sorry, had a call I couldn't miss. So we're ready. I'm just going to get situated here. Week 14. Hopefully everybody comes. Did you see the updated scoreboard, Nick? Getting ready. How did I have it last week? Where's the King's head? Last week did get nutty. We'll give it time because everybody's thinking it's going to start at 8:10. So need like Ashley and everyone to get on. We will be doing trivia. I'm going to put a post up. Have you? Should see what I ordered. I ordered, what do you call it? Sun and Moon. I don't know, what was the ones I ordered today? Yeah. Sun and Moon. Team Up. The full sleeved blister pack. Like the full set. So this guy today on YouTube, or on eBay, he sent me an email that he bought some cards for me off eBay. So I've been selling only Canada Pokemon cards. And he said I sent him a package of like vintage, like a bulk vintage pile like that. And he said that I sent him the wrong cards. And he said that I sent him the wrong ones. And I'm like, that doesn't look like anything I sent. So he sends me a picture of the packaging. Not even my name on it. And I'm like, that's not me. Well, I don't have your package. I'm like, well, it's delivered last Wednesday. Oh, I'll have to have a look for it. Super sketch. I'm going to put a post up. Let everyone know. It says I'm live now. For sure, this guy was trying to scam. For sure he was. And like the picture he sent me like was like an envelope, and I sent him like 200 cards, so it would never have fit in an envelope. And I almost just refunded him. Like that's the default usually. Like if I got a problem with a buyer, I'll just refund because it's not worth the negativity. But I was like, send me a picture of what I sent you because I'm not usually that off. What up, Strife? He sent it and it was like not even close, not even like remotely what I would send. Like, it's like 10 cards. There he is. Did you really? Ooh, that sucks. So I just made a purchase from my Pokemon distributor. I got the Sun and Moon Lost Thunder art set, the Sun and Moon Team Up art set, and the 96 count Brilliant Stars store display. So like the big tile, the big pile, and no, what is it? Crocs again? They did them in Canada like last year, 2 years ago. Now, if they did Croc Charms, the kids would go crazy. I can't believe Ashley gagged so hard last week, having an 8-point lead to having a 17-point deficit going into the finals. Okay, so I bought 2 Temu graded Pokemon cards. Hi, Olivia. 2 Temu graded Pokemon cards. So you can buy like Pokemon officially PSA graded cards off of Temu. They're like $40. And so I was like, I'll give it a try. It's cartoon trivia. I'm like, I'll give it a try. Actually got 2 pretty good cards today. And if you want to find out what those cards are going to be, you're going to have to subscribe to CPJ Rips because that's where I'm opening it up. 90s cartoon trivia tonight. Almost at 100 on that channel. I'd like to get to 100 soon. There is a lot of competition in the Pokemon world, though. Honestly, I think Temu just either got super lax or because they have to be on the actual mainland, they're able to sell like more actual OEM stuff. But these cards that I got, one was graded by CGC and the other was graded by PSA. And they're good. So I might get more. I'm not sure yet. And wait till you guys see the pin video that I'm doing tonight after we get off. There's a video dropping tonight after we get off this call. For a pin I picked up. It's awesome. It's actually awesome. And on other note, for the Polly Pocket fans that do participate on the channel, I am in talks to buy 76 Polly Pockets from a girl in Vancouver. And it's going to be a mega haul. So, yeah. I spent a lot of money on Pokemon today too, so I feel you. So we'll probably start at 8 o'clock. We got the usual suspects here, so anyone else that wants to play. So, oh yeah, Nick, this is a big lot. It's a big lot. It's a big lot of Polly Pockets. So it is week 14 of CPJ Retro Trivia. We got a solid crew here already. I see Olivia, Ashley, Nick. I see Alex. I see Strife. Where's my boy Tommy Pines at? Where's Buck? Buck's got to get some points here. Buck's been dropping down the leaderboard. We need to cheer Buck on. We need Buck. Got Ashley currently gagging away a humongous lead in the standings to Nick, unfortunately. Olivia's here. We got Alex. We got oh, you're fine. You're fine. We're having a good time. Yeah, that was right up your alley yesterday or last week. Belle's here. My daughter's soccer team had a Google Meet call that I had to participate on. So unfortunately, I could not attend both at the same time. So Miss Everly, my youngest, is going to play travel soccer this year. So I had to join that call. And I love you all, but my kids, I just love just a little bit more. So I had to move it. Next week will not be moved. We will be at 7:15 for grand finale of CPJ Retro Trivia Season 4, winter season. Get hyped. Yeah. Yeah. I'm also a crazy sports parent, so I have issues. I am not as chill. I'm like the king at sports games. Peyton can't stand it. You're going to miss the finale? Oh, man. That's not good. We got 13 people watching, 15 people watching right now. If you are interested in playing retro trivia tonight, the subject is 80s and 90s cartoons. I'm going to ask a series of questions, 50 to be exact. Keep track of the score, see who the winner is at the end of the night, and there is one bonus question at the end that deals with the channel CPJ Collectibles. So if you've watched any of my recent long form videos, you're probably going to be ahead in that regard. We've got 15 people. We will start in 1 more minute. I'm just giving Buck and Tommy time to get here because we were going to start at 8:10, but I wanted to get it out a little early. So I jumped on. Hopefully Buck joins. You've got some questions, Strife? Nice. Yeah, so next week at the finale, prepare some questions to ask me. We'll do that for a bit. You didn't check the community post on the wall? Yeah. Yeah, I post lots of information on there all the time. You're like, what happened? Good. I'm excited to see some of these questions. And I might even steal them for next trivia season. That's how we'll do. Okay, let's start. It's 8:01. Buck and Tommy, if they show up, they're going to miss the first little bit. So these are retro cartoon trivia questions. Maybe you do. So here we go. Question 1. Which character was originally intended to die instead of Optimus Prime in Transformers the movie? Ooh, nice. Which character was originally intended to die instead of Optimus Prime in Transformers the movie? It is not Bumblebee. Good guesses, but incorrect. We will go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Nick got it. Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus. What character was it originally intended to die instead of Optimus Prime in the original Transformers movie? And the answer, correctly by Nick, was Ultra Magnus. He was originally supposed to, but they didn't think that it would have the impact on the audience because it was a new character created for the movie. All right, here we go. Question 2. What was the original working title of the cartoon Darkwing Duck? Darkwing Duck. When there's trouble, you call DW. Darkwing Duck. So what was the original working title of that cartoon? Duck Detective is a great guess. Double O Duck is correct. Ashley with a point. With that, she's got 33% of her points from last week already. Foul Shadows. Good one. Good one. Question 3. Which character was an original creation for Batman the Animated Series, but became so popular she was given her own movie? Which character was an original creation? Harley Quinn is correct. General Strife with the point. Catwoman was not an original creation for the cartoon. Question 4. What character was created specifically to sell toys and later became a fan favorite in Gargoyles? What character was created specifically to sell toys and later became a fan favorite in Gargoyles? Brooklyn is incorrect. Bronx is incorrect. Just start naming streets and boroughs. Brooklyn, no. Jersey, no. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, not Xanatos. Wasn't your show? The character was named Lexington. Lexington was created specifically for the toy line and then got super popular. Lexington. Gargoyles wasn't your show? It is a popple. There's 2 of them. There's one up here and there's one right there. And there's a doodle bear over there. Yeah, it shows great. Are you kidding me? All right. If you know this one, I'm going to give you... If you know this one, I'm going to give you 2 points because this is a tough one. Which episode of DuckTales first introduced Scrooge McDuck's #1 dime? I need the name of the episode title. Which episode of DuckTales first introduced Scrooge McDuck's #1 dime? This is a tough one. I'll give you 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, Send in the Clones is correct. 2 points for Ashley. I'm glad that her chat GPT is working tonight. Question 6. Which villain was almost completely removed from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because standards and practices found him too frightening? What's up, Monschlike? Krang is incorrect. Shredder is incorrect. Start naming Ninja Turtle villains and you'll probably get this one. Which villain was almost completely removed from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles store because of standards and practices? The Fly is correct, but what was the Fly's name, Alex? Baxter Stockman is correct. Baxter Stockman. General Strife knew that. His mutation arc was heavily censored. Good job. Okay. I'm trying to say your name at okay, but you're good. Yeah, Alex with the assist. Baxter Stockman got it. 7. What was unusual about Skeletor's voice? What was unusual about Skeletor's voice directed in He-Man and Masters of the Universe? So what was the unusual thing about Skeletor's voice? Oh, you're good. It didn't sound frightening. I will accept that. Strife, that's a point. It was intentionally over the top to avoid being perceived as too evil. They made his voice sound less evil. Strife, that was a good answer. Question 8. Which episode of The Real Ghostbusters was banned in some markets for religious content? If you know this one, I'll give you 2 points. Which episode of The Real Ghostbusters was banned in some markets for religious content? I need the name of the episode. We'll go 10 seconds on this one. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. My kid, bold of you to assume it's their room. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The name of the episode was The Devil to Pay. The Devil to Pay. Point for me. Yep, they did. Question 9. What real-world city inspired the layout of Cybertron in Transformers? Cartoons, Jake. What real-world city inspired the layout of Cybertron in Transformers? Japan is a country, not a city. Tokyo is correct. Ashley gets a point. Good guesses. It was Tokyo. Everybody that got Tokyo, you are correct. Question 10. Which character was never allowed to punch anyone on screen in Inspector Gadget? You did, Ashley. Congratulations. You have 4 points now. Which character was never allowed to punch anyone on screen in Inspector Gadget? Gadget is correct. Alex gets a point. Alex, that's your first point of the evening. It was Gadget himself. After 10 questions, here's a scoreboard rundown. Ashley's got 4. Strife has 3. Nick has 1. And Alex has 1. And I have stumped you twice. Question 11. What was the original intended ending of the cartoon? What was the original intended ending of the cartoon Dungeons and Dragons? Welcome to the stream. I'm going to accept Alex's first answer. They escaped. They go home. So, Tommy's here. Alex, I'll give you the point. Tommy, welcome. I knew that the first absurd comment of the evening would be from Tommy Pines. Buck! There you are. Tommy and Buck are here. Everyone, let's all welcome Tommy and Buck. They still made it despite my scheduling conflict. We got a full roster tonight. We got all the peeps here tonight. We got a solid motley crew of trivia fans in this penultimate week of the trivia season. Solid crew. It just isn't a trivia night without Buck and Tommy. So with that, I'm going to give Buck and Tommy a point just to give them a little loving. And also I'm going to give Olivia a point because she's here and she can't be here next week. Question 12. And we're going to give Mon Schleich a point because they've been pretty loyal this whole time here most weeks as well. So we got a solid crew. And we'll give Jake a point too, even though Jake always leaves when the questions get too hard. There we go. It sure does. If it had batteries in it. I had to take the batteries out. It was creeping me out. Let's go to question 12. Yeah, you're up late. Party on. Which Disney afternoon show was originally planned as a straight crime drama before comedy rewrites? So listen to the hint. Which Disney afternoon show was originally planned as a straight crime drama before comedy rewrites? And it was not Recess. Darkwing Duck is incorrect, but good guess. Gummy Bears? No. There you go, Nick. Chippendale Rescue Rangers. Chippendale. Question 13. Which character was voiced by Frank Welker without using his natural speaking voice? Which Transformers character was voiced by Frank Welker without using his natural speaking voice? Megatron. We have a new point getter. Best times 88-12. Excellent. You knew that. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. Congratulations on your first points of the evening. What are the names of the 3 Animaniacs? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, Best Times. But first points of the night. Yakko, Wacko, and Soar are incorrect. Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. Yakko. Okay, there's a lot of points here to give out. So I'm going to give Tommy and Nick a point. Did you? Hold on, Alex. I'm checking. Yeah, you did it in 3. Okay. I'll give Alex a point. We don't want Alex to get mad. Okay, here we go. Question 15. What is the name of the villain in Thundercats? What is the name of the villain in Thundercats? Mum-Ra is correct. Mum-Ra is correct. So who got that first? I'll give it to Alex. Even though you all spelled it wrong. I'm going to give... Ashley spelled it correctly. Mum-Ra is correct. So we'll give Ashley a charity point after last week. She deserves some. No, it's a popple. No wuzzles up here right now. Oh, maybe there is. Is there a wuzzle? I don't think there's a wuzzle in here. Nope, no wuzzles. I don't think there's a wuzzles in here. I have one, but I don't think it's here. Like, those are popples. Those are popples. Cheshire Cat's up there. There's a Doodle Bear there. I am the wuzzle. The trivia wuzzle. Question 17. What unusual rule governed violence in Batman the Animated Series? What unusual rule governed violence in Batman? Oh, that is correct. Excellent, Alex. No blood, even for villains, could ever be shown. Okay, which character was written out of Rugrats before the pilot aired? There could be knives, but you just couldn't show blood. Which character was written out of Rugrats before the pilot aired? Dill was in Rugrats. I need a character that wasn't in it. I need the character's name. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys all had a good answer, but you were all wrong. You were all wrong. It was all wrong. It was a scrapped baby character named Joe. Joe. So that's a point for me. Question 19. What was the tagline at the end of every G.I. Joe episode? What was the tagline at the end of every G.I. Joe episode? And knowing is half the battle. That's correct. Ashley had that first. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. Yep. Ashley got there first, but Nick had it too. Hello. Which 80s cartoon was the first to receive a drug-free message mandate from the networks? Which 80s cartoon was the first to receive a drug-free message mandate from the networks? Ren and Stimpy. Good. Oh, good guesses, but all wrong. You guys are doing great. Lots of good cartoons in there. Not the right one. Masters of the Universe, Peter Reno. Hey, Peter, what's going on? Peter is here and getting points. It was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. We're 20 questions in. Here's a score update after 20. We got Ashley with 6, Alex with 5, Nick, Strife, and me with 3, Tommy with 2, Buck, Monschleich, Best Times, Peter, and Olivia, all with 1 each. Still anybody's game. We got a little off the rails last week. You know, the king had to make an appearance, threaten some points. Seems like everybody is in a good mood tonight. So, you want to get negative points? You got them. Just Lemmy Koopa, you're negative 3,000 in the hole. Restart your stream, Olivia. It's okay, Peter. Next week is the grand finale, so you're going to want to be here for that. I'm probably going to send out some more of those blind boxes that I sent you guys. Question 21. What villain's name was never spoken aloud on screen in Inspector Gadget? What villain's name was never spoken aloud on screen in Inspector Gadget? Dr. Claw is correct. Who got that first? Billy Quaid. Billy Quaid 7098. Awesome. Another new point getter. Awesome. Good. Question 22. Which episode of The Simpsons was the first to be animated entirely digitally? I need the name of the episode. We're at 50 questions now. We're at 22 questions. We're going to 50. Hi to everyone that's messaging saying hi. Radioactive Man is correct. Ashley gets a point. Radioactive Man was the first to be animated entirely digitally. Remember the one where Homer went into the real world? Do you remember that one? Simpsons is one of my faves. Which cartoon deliberately avoided a laugh track to feel cinematic? Which cartoon deliberately avoided a laugh track to feel cinematic? Sacrilege, Olivia. You guys don't have it yet. Think about serious cartoons. Angry Beavers is not correct. 5, 4, 3, 2. Batman. Tommy, point. Batman is the correct answer. Question 24. What was the original reason April O'Neil was changed from a comic book assistant to a reporter in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? What was the original reason April O'Neil was changed from a comic book assistant to a reporter in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? It was not sexism. It was not the times they were changing. It was not a staff vacancy. Some wild answers here. So she could be in the action is correct. Reporters are easier to place there. Nick gets the point. But times they were a-changin' is an excellent answer, and I'd expect none less from the one and only Tommy Pines. Which character was never allowed to win a fight in Thundercats without Lion-O present? Which character was never allowed to win a fight in Thundercats without Lion-O present? Snarf is incorrect. The dog, there was no dogs. Snarf is not a dog. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Panthro is correct. Nick gets the point. It was Panthro. He could only win a fight when Lion-O was there. Why? One of life's great mysteries. Which show was almost canceled because its toys sold too well? There's been a lot of sexism answers tonight. Which show was almost canceled because its toys sold too well? Street Sharks. Good guess. Best times. Point for you. Transformers is correct. The storylines were having to be too rushed to match the waves of the toys. What is the name of the scientist in DuckTales? What is the name of the scientist in DuckTales? Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. It's not McQuack. It is, in fact, Gyro Gearloose. Ashley got there first with that one. Which character in Thundercats was originally intentionally written as annoying to test audience tolerance? Which Thundercats character was intentionally written as annoying to test audience tolerance? Snarf is correct. Looks like Best Times got that first because I don't think Snarkle was a character. Question 29. Which villain was inspired by Shakespearean tragedy in Gargoyles? Which villain was inspired by Shakespearean tragedy in Gargoyles? Jar Jar. I will not tolerate any Jar Jar slander on this channel. Frakes' character is not his name. Desdemona is incorrect. Romeo, Goliath, no. Zazpod is not a character from the show. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The character's name was Xanatos. Xanatos. He was voiced by Jonathan Frakes. But unfortunately, his name was Xanatos. So that's a point for me. Half pint? You can't even spell point right, but you want a half point. It's okay, Alex. I forgive you. Which cartoon had its episode order aired completely out of production order? Which cartoon had its episode order aired completely out of production order? X-Men is a good guess, but that's not the answer I'm looking for. Oh, lots of good guesses, but there's one that stands out. Batman is correct. Batman the Animated Series, completely out of order. Ashley's having a better showing tonight. After 30 questions, Ashley has 9, Nick has 5, Alex has 5, Strife has 3, Tommy has 3, Best Times has 3. Most of these are 90s. DuckTales, Batman. Okay, question 31. What character was never allowed to say the word kill on screen in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero? Every character was correct. Any hero couldn't say it. Villains could imply it. Heroes could not. So I will give Ashley the point there. It was a bit of a trick question. Question 32. Which Disney afternoon show was designed to appeal to older kids first? Which Disney afternoon show was designed to appeal to older kids first? Gargoyles is correct. Strife, point. Question 33. This is like my favorite episode of this show. What was the most expensive episode produced during the original run of Batman the Animated Series? Has probably the best character in the show on it. The most sympathetic villain. Nope, not Heart of Ice, although good one. Nope. Feet of Clay is correct. It is Clayface's episode, his origin story. Sad episode. Which character's accent was almost completely removed in DuckTales due to complaints? Really? Which character's accent was almost removed in DuckTales due to complaints? It was not Scrooge. Scrooge's accent is core to his character. Beasley is incorrect. Launchpad is correct. Launchpad McQuack. Alex never could land a plane. Good old Launchpad. Did you know that Launchpad McQuack is a core character in both DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, and Tailspin? The Disney shared cartoon universe. He did one time. Which show used real military consultants for accuracy? Which cartoon used real military consultants for... Oh, Alex. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is correct. Should I give Alex a point? Let's go to the chat. Give me a thumbs up if I should give Alex a point. Give me a thumbs down if I shouldn't give Alex a point for the spelling mistake. Feel like Gladiator. Billy says yes. Tommy says no. Peter gives a, oh yeah, we got 3 thumbs to 1. We'll give Alex a point too. All right, Alex. See, your trivia partners, they helped you out. Okay, question 36. Which villain was written to never physically appear in Inspector Gadget? Which villain was never meant? Yeah, Claw is correct. Dr. Claw. Okay, so let's give Alex an opportunity for ultimate redemption here. Okay? Nobody answered this question but Alex. Let's ask Alex this question. Serious time. Serious time, Alex. Get ready. Do nobody else answer this question. If you wanted to see what Dr. Claw actually looked like, what did you need to do? Buy the action figure is correct. Buy the action figure is correct. You could take the mask off the action figure to see Dr. Claw's face. So I'm going to give Alex 5 points on that one because he knew it. Yep. Question 37. What is the name of Goliath's love interest in the cartoon Gargoyles? Desdemona is correct. Nick, point. 6 points for Nick. Desdemona. I hated that character, to be honest with you. Okay, question 38. What real mythological creature inspired Orko's species? In Masters of the Universe, a real mythological creature inspired Orko's character. A liger is not correct. Medusa, Orko, really? A little wizard? A Jawa? Very good guess. Mythological creature. A bear is a real creature. A gremlin? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, a tiger, a bear are not mythological creatures, okay? It was a djinn. A djinn. Like a djinn, like the mythological like wizard genie thing. Question 39. Which show used darker color palettes specifically to stand out against competitors? A drunk. Batman. That's Tommy's points. It's 4 points for Tommy. Question 40. Which cartoon's finale never actually aired in its original run? Which cartoon's finale never actually aired in its original run? Freddy Flamingo's Dungeons and Dragons is correct. We have a new point getter. Freddy Flamingo's with the correct answer. Let me write your name down. You're on the leaderboard now. Excellent job. Angry Beavers. Is that even a show? Or are people just putting that? Okay, after 40 questions, here we go. Ashley has 5, 10, 11 points, which is good enough for second place because Alex has 13 points. Nick's got 6. Tommy's got 4. Best Times has got 3. I've got 4. Strife's got 5. Olivia, Buck, Monschleich, Peter, Billy Quaid, and Freddie Flamingos all have 1. Alex cheated. Question 41. 10 questions to go plus the bonus question. Which character was never shown eating despite... Which Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles character was never shown eating despite so many food-heavy episodes? Leo is correct. Leonardo never eats in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. So that was Tommy, correct? Yep. Leonardo. My least favorite Ninja Turtle. It just never happens. He's a serious dude, you know, the leader. Everybody else eats. 42. Which show had its animation budget cut mid-season but hit it successfully? Mikey is not the worst. Mikey is actually the best. There is. DuckTales is correct. Tommy, you're on a heater. Okay, so I will not tolerate any Michelangelo slander. And if you think Michelangelo is the worst Ninja Turtle, you need to read The Last Ronin, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles graphic novel that details that Michelangelo is actually the last surviving turtle. And the reason why he's given the nunchucks in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is because he has the most potential. In the world of martial arts, the hardest of the weapons to learn is the nunchucks, which is why they give them to Michelangelo in order for him to concentrate and use his full ninja abilities, because anything else would be too easy for him. He's like that really smart kid that gets bored easily. Thank you so much. I am a bit of a Ninja Turtles freak. Yeah, but they're also turtles. You ever have a turtle? See how they smell? Yeah, it's brutal. They got other things to worry about. They're giant turtles. Okay, question 43. Which villain was modeled after a real-life CEO archetype? Which Disney villain was modeled after a real-life CEO archetype? Remember, these are 90s cartoons. '90s cartoons. Gru is like new. David Xanatos is correct. That is the answer we were looking for earlier. He was like a bad guy. Also, go back to the Ninja Turtles. Worst Ninja Turtle is Leonardo. If I had to... Okay. So, I bought a green screen. Okay. So, this is a new channel thing. See, I have a green screen here. I will be doing blind ranking of a bunch of different stuff. So, we're going to run some blind rankings coming up. So, if I had to rank the Ninja Turtles based on best to worst, I'm going Michelangelo 1, Donatello 2, Raphael 3, Leonardo 4. Leonardo, and you could just run with Donatello and Michelangelo and have no difference in anything that happens in the Ninja Turtle world. Donnie the tech guy, Michelangelo the scrapper. And Splinter, obviously. Casey Jones. Oh, I can't wait for those to come in. March 10th. Okay, question 44. Which cartoon introduced the idea of the no reset button consequences? Which cartoon introduced the idea of no reset button consequences? Was he not in TMNT 2? It's been so long. Bye, Jake. It was not Captain Planet or Batman. Gargoyles is correct. What happens? Okay, Jake, sounds good. What happens in the very first episode of Gargoyles is so traumatic that it sets the standard that no one is safe in any aspect of the whole show. They kill off like 20 gargoyles right in the first 10 minutes of the first episode. Hello. So then you're like, wait, what? Yeah. Yeah, she comes back. The first... Nah, don't get me started on that. And the fact that in this and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, they have the prime opportunity to do Bebop and Rocksteady. And instead, they give Toka and Razor these baby animals that are just garbage. Like, it's okay, Olivia. No worries. Question 45. They did have Ninja Rap. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. Question 45. Which character was voiced by multiple actors in the same season due to illness? Which Masters of the Universe character was voiced by multiple actors in the same season due to illness? It's okay, Olivia. I hope you feel better. Skeletor's correct. Good jobs. Yeah, so the original voice actor of Skeletor got sick during the first season, and they had to use a second person. And that's how you ended up with that iconic voice. Question 46. Best game for Nintendo Entertainment? Oh, this game, it'd be so much fun for you to play. It's a game called Ghosts and Goblins. It's challenging, but it's really fun. And so if you get that game and you could beat it, I mean, you're going to have such a sense of accomplishment. Get the original Ninja Turtles for... Actually, if you want a fun game to play on the original Nintendo, Super Mario 3 is probably my favorite to play on there. Or Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2, specifically Flashman's board or Crashman's board. Yeah. Yeah, Mega Man 2 is probably the best. If you really, really do not get Ghosts and Goblins, whatever you do, if you value your sanity, don't get it. Don't get it. Okay. Question 46. Which show was forced to tone down guns by turning them into lasers? Madness. G.I. Joe's correct. Good job, Alex. Alex, you got a chance to win this week. Is this your first win of the year? Question 47. Which cartoon used cinematic storyboards instead of traditional TV layouts? Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, Alex. My bad. Second. Batman's correct. Who got that? Strife? Alex got that one. Job, everyone. Question 48. 3 to go. Which 90s cartoon was rejected multiple times before approval? Yeah, tonight's been Batman. Which 90s cartoon was rejected multiple times before approval? And if you take me there, I want to go there. Let's go there. I want to go there. Angry Beavers is not a correct answer tonight. Oregon Trail. Olivia, you're back. 5, 4. Stu and Dee Dee would not approve of your answers. 3, 2, 1, 0. Stu and Dee Dee Pickles would not like that you missed out on Rugrats. Nobody got that one in time. Ashley got it, but the bell had rung. Question 49. You did not get that in there. Which cartoon's villain was more popular than the hero? Which cartoon's villain was more popular than the hero? 80s cartoon. Skeletor's correct. Strife, well done. Good performance tonight, Strife. Question 50. Which cartoon fundamentally changed Western TV animation tone going forward? Which cartoon fundamentally changed Western TV animation going forward? And it was Batman. General Strife with another one. Christine's good. Not my favorite King book, but it's up there. Like 12. After 50 questions, here we go. We're going into the bonus trivia question. Okay, so we got 5, 10, 14, 5, 10. Oh, 15, 6. Hold on, I'm just tabulating. 6, 6. Okay. Alex has a 1-point lead over Ashley. Alex has 15. Ashley has 14. Nick has 6. Tommy has 6. Strife has 6. Best Times has 3. And there's a bunch of people with 1. So this question's worth 10. So that means Tommy can win. Strife can win. Alex can win. Ashley can win. And Nick can win. So here is the bonus question. Let's go. If you watch one of my most recent long form videos, this should be pretty easy for you. Or if you're a loyal shorts viewer, you probably get this one too. Okay. Channel bonus question worth 10 points. What 3 animals were part of the 1992 Halloween McNugget Buddies costumes in my last video? So there were 3 animals that were part of the... Nice. Cat, bat, spider is correct, and Nick gets the point. Wow. With that, Nick gets 16 points. Good enough for a 1-point win over Alex and Ashley. Wow. That was a close one. Sheesh. Okay, so that is the regular season of Season 4 Trivia Night. Next week is the grand finale. You want to finish in the top 10, okay? So if you are in the top 10 right now, you want to stay in the top 10 next week. And if you're not in the top 10, let's say you're at like 6 or 8 points, you really want to participate next week and have an opportunity to vault. So the people that are here, I will probably ask everyone an individual question that'll be worth a couple points to try and get you into the top 10 if you're not already in there. Because anybody in the top 10 is going to get sent one of those boxes that I sent Alex, Ashley, and Nick at the end of last season. So, Olivia, we'll figure out a way for you to try and get up there. I have watched Stranger Things. So, next week, it will go longer next week. So, we'll start at 7:15, but we're probably going to go for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. Because it'll be more personal and we'll have some questions. You guys are going to ask me some questions. And so next week we're going to do that and should be a blast. And then I'm going to take a little bit of time off and then come back and do season 5. But that being said, I'm super excited for next week's finale. It's going to be kind of like the best of the best. It'll be obscure toy trivia. It'll be McDonald's trivia. It'll be 90s cartoons. It'll be a whole bunch of different things. So if you're not good at one thing or good at the other, it'll be your opportunity. And I'll do some like centering you guys out next week to give you an opportunity for only you to answer. Okay, so I will see you guys all next week. I hope you have a great week, Olivia. And we'll see you in the comments on my videos. But I will be doing a live stream, kind of like a charity live stream that I'm working on the ideas for. 7 p.m. Eastern. So it won't be 7 p.m. your time. Check the comments. Check the community posts for details. But I hope you guys all have a good week. And I will see you next week for the grand finale. Bye.